What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? Happy Wednesday, J House. Happy Father's Day, past Father's Day weekend to all the fathers out there. Shout out to you guys, and I hope everyone had a great Father's Day weekend. We are back. Took myself a little break from all the madness, and we're coming live from the playroom, as me and my buddy Asher like to call it. Live from the kids' playroom, toys abroad. You're gonna hear noises. So in the background, all kinds of trucks and dinosaurs going off. So apologies in advance, but here we are. Uh, Asher, will you tell the people to like and subscribe, please?
Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Asher says hi. He says hi. But shout out to you guys. And we got a lot to get into on this brief time that we have together. I will start by saying that look, I have not seen episode 4 of The Acolyte. I don't think I plan on watching it, just because after the last episode, it told me all I needed to know. And then from then on, I knew that it was only going to get worse, which apparently, from a lore perspective, it has. And we have to, and I'm seeing I'm seeing how the fan base is reacting to it, and it's something I've not seen before. So it is what it is.
Ta-da. Remake horse.
You bought a horse? Put the horse over there. We don't need that. But it's something we've not seen before, man. Just lore breaking after lore breaking, and it gets tiresome. I don't think people really they always talk, they always get on the hardcore lore people like me, for per se, who really care about the continuity and the meaning behind continuity, and they don't care. These big, some of them do, but for the most part they don't. And if they break it, they break it, fine, it doesn't matter. But one thing I think everyone's forgetting, like I said via my last video, is that this is Disney's canon. They're going to do whatever they want to do. This isn't the EU canon. This isn't any of that. Even though I think the EU and the previous canon holds supreme, Disney's going to do whatever they want to do anyway. So really, I'm not surprised that all this is going down. I'm not outraged that all this is going down. I knew they were going to do this because they have ownership of the brand, so they can do whatever they want to do. Doesn't mean everyone's going to like it, which, as we see right now in the comments, everybody does not. So, I mean, it is what it is. And it's effectively, I think, killed the hype for The Acolyte. So I have no interest in going forward with it. Not my cup of tea, not my thing. So that's that. But anyways, hope everyone's doing good on this great Wednesday morning. I am currently still getting accustomed to having three boys in the house. I got 2 newborns and my 3-year-old boy Asher right behind me. So it's been quite a acclimation to get these to do this with kids as well. So I try to involve them as much as I can. But here's to Wednesday. I also will say this, because this is one of the things I've been saying for a long time. The Acolyte and Game of Thrones, 2 totally different things. Because if you're gonna like I said, if you focus on diversity and inclusion and all these things, you have to make sure stories is priority first over that. Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon does that. You have Emma D'Arcy, you have all these different actors and actresses who live that lifestyle, off the camera, who, you know what I'm saying, who have their own beliefs and believe in and live the way they want to live. But when it comes to show and the House of Dragons, they leave all of that at the doorstep. They don't bring that into the show. And and they don't do it for any reason that doesn't serve the story. That's why House of the Dragon is so great, because they prioritize how good and the quality of the story, how good of a story it needs to be, instead of focusing on how many black people you can put in it, or how many, LGBTQ whatever people you can put in it. That's not the focus of House of Dragons, which is why the show continues to be successful. The numbers are down a tad bit, yes, from what we've seen the previous season, but still, it's loads better ahead than anything. And I know that House of Dragon in the long run is going to win, because they're on that one episode formula basis. One episode per week, that keeps people engaged, and there's going to be a lot to get into. So of course, I would expect them that's fine, because I know in the long run it's going to pay off, because they're building something with this story. Rhaenyra takes time to grieve for the death of Lucerys, goes missing. Daemon wants to attack and wants to go ahead and go at Aemond and everyone else, but he's not the king. He's not in charge, which I know is going to cause some sort of friction later on. And this episode ended really crazily with Daemon hiring two hands to help take out one of the heirs, one of the sons. So really, it is a son for a son in that aspect, and it's gonna backfire. I know that much for sure. So it's definitely not gonna be good for Daemon. But he gave them a secondary target anyway. We know that he gave them a secondary target on that. Kristen Cole and Allison are still up to no good. I mean, that amount of stress that they have, no wonder they have to blow off steam every time we see them. They're getting into it about something. So, yeah, it is what it is with that. Also, nobody listens to the Queen. She's been saying stuff in mysteries and riddles since season 1, and when she said "look out for the rats," nobody paid attention to it. So that was pretty funny to me. Nobody paid attention to the rats, and the rat catcher got in and murdered one of the heirs. So we're gonna see that backlash on next Sunday. This is just the beginning, so there's really not much to really get into with House of the Dragon, other than it's still good, and hearing that theme song come on just gives me all the chills, and I'm very hyped for it. So House of the Dragons, season 2 premiere, top marks from me. Glad to be back in the world of Westeros. Glad to be in some world that has competent storytelling and can immerse people into the world. So I'm glad for that. Cheers to that. But again, happy Wednesday to everyone. I will say that. And now let's get into this backlash a bit with the Acolyte, because I'm not surprised. My main thing for me is that it's going to make it hard and probably impossible, because a lot of people weren't rooting for Daisy Ridley to come back anyway, and a lot of people weren't on that train to begin with. So I think that what's going down with the Acolyte just made it all the more difficult and seemingly impossible for Ray and for Daisy Ridley to come back and make this, and then you get what the director Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy and her background is, and you add that to what just happened with Leslie Headland and the Acolyte. If you think people are going to show up to the theaters for what is apparently being called a new beginning, Star Wars, a new beginning, you got another thing coming. That's not going to happen at all. It's not going to happen, man. So hey, buddy. Hey, don't slam anything now. So, I don't think, I don't know if that's going to work. It's not going to happen.
Come on, let's just play.
I'm recording right now. Say
hey. Hey, boy.
He can't be, he's not even on the camera. He could say hey.
Hey.
Okay. You said hey. Okay. I'm almost done here. Let me wrap up.
Bye.
He says bye. But yeah, the Ray movie already in jeopardy, I think, because of this, and it could lead to big repercussions that Disney's not ready for as such. But you know, Disney, they already have something up the sleeve to rebound on. They already have something to Disney as a whole, because if something fails with Star Wars, they still have the MCU in their back pocket. Henceforth, Deadpool and Wolverine, which releases on the 26th of July, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, July 26th, 2024, directed by Sean Levy. So we're going to get that movie. And so I already know Disney is in to probably make $1 billion off that. I will be there for that. That's definitely $1 billion in the bank, I think, for Disney. So even if the Acolyte and Disney Star Wars is flopping and failing, Disney knows that they have a moneymaker still in the MCU, which really has only had one bad phase, and which could easily be redirected and shifted momentum wise into something else. So I think that they can change direction. I think the MCU is still top notch. I think the MCU still can rebound and have a lot of great stories ahead of it, going into Secret Wars and going into Kang Dynasty, or whatever they will choose to call that movie. I think that they should reroute the phase and start introducing the X-Men a lot earlier, because of the success we're seeing. Deadpool and Wolverine, X-Men 97, of course. So, I mean, the X-Men are more in demand than anything, if any, more than they've ever been. So I think they need to go ahead and start incorporating it now. You got Fantastic Four on the way, and so why not start adding those other iconic elements? Because even though we've had phase 1 through 3, we've had the main Avengers lineup for the most part. What people need to understand is that before we even had those, there were more iconic characters and lineups that carried the Marvel brand before that. That included Hulk, that included Wolverine, Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four. All of those characters can perfectly carry the MCU into the next 5 or 10 years, however long they plan to go, perfectly if they do it right. Spider-Man is a heavyweight in his own right. Tom Holland could be the face of the MCU if he wanted to, which he's one of the faces. But if they wanted to solely do it off Spider-Man being a lead in the MCU, they could do that. Have Wolverine, Hulk, you know what I'm saying? All these other characters. There's so many things going on now. I don't know what's going on with Blade. They need to get Blade right. I don't know what's going on with that. Hopefully if they bring Wesley Snipes in, that'd be pretty crazy. But they need to do something to get the MCU back on track as far as Blade goes. But with Deadpool and Wolverine, I think you have a chance to reset here, and I think that you can start bringing in the heavyweights in order to bring the MCU back to prominence and back to where they used to be. So I think there's a lot. There's a lot of chance here. There's a lot. They just need to button down on the multiverse thing and really get a grip on it and see where the future of the MCU goes. But other than that, I'm not really into Venom either.
I'm
So
trying to put the farm back together.
oh, you are? Oh, you broke it. Oh no. I'll be over there in a second. I'll help you out. Morning coffee and kids. What can you say? But yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine, July 26th. Sean Levy directing. Super excited about that. Um, the Star Wars fan base is in disarray. It's at war right now, so there's not. That is what it is. I pretty much stayed away from arguing with anyone who's defending the Acolyte, because I know I'll get no justice there, and I know I'll get no proper conversation on it, because either you're hardcore shilling for it and just refusing to not look at the mistakes being made that they're talking about now, or you just you're just totally over Disney Star Wars, which at this point I most definitely am. So for me, didn't watch episode 4, don't care to, and that's what it is for me. So you got all these different websites, of course, talking about how misogynist and racist are ruining Star Wars, and we know that's not true. We know who's really ruining the franchise, so I pay no mind to it. I keep my peace. I rather keep my peace and be happy. So we will see what goes down in the coming future. Star Wars continuing to go downhill. Deadpool and Wolverine in the MCU are trying to get back up. It is upon us. Game of Thrones is back, and we're only in week 1. We're only in week 1 of Game of Thrones, so there's a lot to go. There's a long way to go there. There's a long way to go with Game of Thrones. We got another 8, 9, 10 weeks of possibly the greatest television of all time. So super hyped and super excited about that. But that will be all for this Wednesday live. I hope you guys have a great day. Be blessed. Be careful out there. And you guys take it easy.